I am staring at my phone right now looking at the text message that just came through. It is from Jessica, my girlfriend of 2 years. Tyler, I need you to watch the kids again this Saturday. Amanda has plans and I promised her we would help. I feel my jaw tighten. This is the 4th weekend in a row. 4 straight weekends of babysitting her sister's 3 absolute nightmares while Jessica goes out to bars and clubs with her friends. I type back a single word. No. 3 dots appear, then disappear, then appear again. My phone rings immediately. Before I tell you how this all exploded, drop a comment and let me know where you are watching from. Hit that like button and subscribe if you have ever felt taken advantage of in a relationship. Stay with me, because what happened next changed everything about how I see boundaries. Jessica and I met at a coffee shop downtown 2 years ago. She was sitting by the window, laptop open, looking frustrated with whatever she was working on. I offered to buy her another coffee, and somehow we ended up talking for 3 hours straight. She was funny, smart, ambitious. She worked in marketing for a tech startup and talked about her goals with this infectious energy. I was a project manager for a construction firm, stable career, good income, decent apartment. We clicked immediately. Those first 6 months were incredible. We would spend entire weekends exploring the city, trying new restaurants, going to concerts. She was affectionate, attentive, always planning little surprises. She would show up at my place with takeout from my favorite Thai place or book tickets to see a band I mentioned liking once in passing. I thought I had found someone special, someone who actually paid attention. I met her family around month 4. Her parents lived 2 hours away, but her older sister Amanda lived in the same city about 20 minutes from my apartment. Amanda was 34, divorced with 3 kids. The oldest was 8, a boy named Cody. Then there was a 6-year-old girl named Brianna. The youngest was 4, another boy named Kyle. When Jessica first introduced me, the kids were on their best behavior. Quiet, polite, almost shy. Amanda seemed nice enough. She thanked me for making her sister happy and said she hoped to see more of me. The first time I met the real versions of those children was about a month later. Jessica asked if I could come with her to Amanda's place to help set up for a birthday party. I said sure, figuring it would be a couple hours of hanging balloons and streamers. When we arrived, absolute chaos greeted us. Cody was chasing Brianna through the house with a toy sword, both of them screaming at full volume. Kyle had somehow gotten into the pantry and was throwing cereal all over the kitchen floor. Amanda was on her phone, barely glancing up, saying, "Kids, stop," in this tired voice that had zero authority behind it. Jessica jumped right in like this was normal. She started picking up cereal, redirecting Cody, trying to calm Brianna down. I helped where I could, but I was shocked. This was not what I had signed up for. After 2 hours of nonstop chaos, we finally got the decorations up. Amanda thanked us, said she did not know what she would do without Jessica. I noticed she did not say anything about paying us back or returning the favor. Just expected help. On the drive home, I mentioned to Jessica that the kids seemed like a handful. She laughed it off. They are just being kids. Amanda has it rough being a single mom. We have to help family, you know. I nodded, figuring it was a one-time thing. It was not. Over the next year, the requests started coming more frequently. At first, it was reasonable stuff. Can we watch the kids for 2 hours while Amanda runs errands? Or, Amanda needs to go to a doctor's appointment, can we help? I said yes because that is what you do. You help your partner's family when they need it. But somewhere along the line it shifted. Jessica started volunteering us without asking me first. I would find out on Thursday that we were babysitting all day Saturday. When I pushed back, she would act hurt. I already told Amanda we would do it. I cannot back out now. She is counting on us. The kids got more comfortable around me, which meant they stopped hiding their true personalities. Cody had no respect for rules. He would jump on furniture, throw things deliberately, break toys just to watch them shatter. When I tried to correct him, he would look me dead in the eye and say, "You are not my dad. I do not have to listen to you." Brianna was manipulative in a way that was unsettling for a 6-year-old. She would lie, constantly blame her brothers for things she did, then cry these fake tears when she got caught. She learned quickly that crying would make Jessica rush to comfort her, so she used it as a weapon. Kyle was the youngest, but somehow the most destructive. He had this habit of finding the most valuable or dangerous thing in any room and immediately going for it. My phone, my laptop, kitchen knives, cleaning supplies under the sink. You could not take your eyes off him for a second. Amanda never disciplined them. She would drop them off at my apartment looking relieved to be escaping and say, "Thanks so much, you two are lifesavers," before practically running back to her car. Jessica would watch them with this patient smile, like their behavior was totally acceptable. Meanwhile, I would spend the entire day stressed, exhausted, counting down the minutes until Amanda came back, which was always later than she said. She would say she would be back by 6, then show up at 8:30, smelling like wine, laughing about how she lost track of time. I started to notice a pattern. Every time we watched the kids, Jessica would get texts from her friends about going out. She would sigh and say, "I wish I could go, but we have the kids." It felt performative, like she was building up credit for something. Then, about 6 months ago, things changed. Jessica came to me on a Wednesday evening and said Amanda needed regular help. "She is really struggling, Tyler. She needs one full day every weekend to decompress and handle her own stuff." I told her we could watch the kids every Saturday. I felt my stomach drop. Every Saturday, that was my only full day off. I worked long hours Monday through Friday. Saturdays were when I did my grocery shopping, went to the gym, saw my own friends, or just enjoyed having time to myself. I told Jessica I could not commit to every single Saturday. She looked at me like I had suggested something cruel. It is one day a week, Tyler. Family helps family. If you really cared about me, this would not be a big deal. I felt the guilt wash over me. Maybe I was being selfish. Maybe this was what being in a serious relationship meant. Making sacrifices. So I agreed to try it for a month. That first Saturday set the tone for what was coming. Amanda dropped the kids off at 9 in the morning. She was dressed up, makeup done, hairstyled. I asked her what errands she had today. She smiled and said, "Oh, just some me time. You know how it is." Then she left. Jessica immediately suggested we take the kids to the park. I was still in my sweatpants, had not had breakfast yet, had not even finished my first cup of coffee. But we loaded the kids into my car and headed out. At the park, Cody started throwing wood chips at other children. Brianna fell off the swing on purpose and screamed that I pushed her, causing other parents to stare at me like I was abusive. Kyle ran toward the parking lot twice, nearly giving me a heart attack both times. After an hour, we left. Back at my apartment, they wanted lunch. I made sandwiches. Cody threw his on the floor because I made it wrong. Brianna cried because her sandwich was cut in triangles instead of squares. Kyle smeared peanut butter on my couch. Jessica kept saying, "They are just expressing themselves," and "kids need patience." I was ready to lose my mind. That afternoon, Jessica got a call. Her friend Emma was having a birthday thing at a new club downtown. Jessica mentioned she really wanted to go. I told her to go ahead, I would handle the kids. She kissed me on the cheek and said, "You are the best. I will only be gone a few hours." She did not come back until 1 in the morning. I spent the entire evening alone with those 3 kids. Dinner was a disaster. Bedtime took 2 hours because none of them would settle down. Cody kept sneaking out of the guest room. Brianna kept asking for water, then saying it was too cold, then too warm. Kyle cried every time I left the room. By the time Amanda finally picked them up at 11 that night, I was exhausted, in a way I had never experienced. Jessica came home drunk, giggling, smelling like cigarettes and vodka. She thanked me for being so understanding. I was too tired to argue. The next morning, I told her this could not be every weekend. She pouted and said I was being difficult. It is just one day. I never get to go out anymore. The second Saturday, the exact same thing happened. Amanda dropped the kids off early. Jessica stayed for 2 hours, then got a text about brunch with friends. She left. I was stuck with the kids all day. They destroyed my living room. Cody spilled juice on my work laptop. Brianna drew on my wall with permanent marker. Kyle flushed an entire roll of toilet paper down the toilet and flooded my bathroom. I cleaned up mess after mess, feeling my resentment build. When Jessica came home that evening, she was tipsy again. She barely apologized. She just kissed me and said, "You are such a good partner." I did not feel like a good partner. I felt like a babysitter, an unpaid, unappreciated babysitter. The third Saturday, I put my foot down. I told Jessica I had plans with my own friends. She looked shocked. "You are bailing on me on the kids?" I pointed out that they were not my kids, that this was supposed to be helping Amanda occasionally, not giving up every weekend. She got defensive. "So, you are saying my family is not important to you? That is what I am hearing." We fought for an hour. Eventually she cried and said she felt like I did not support her. I felt the guilt creep back in. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I needed to be more flexible. I canceled my plans, spent another Saturday in hell. By the 4th week, I was done. Completely done. I had not seen my own friends in a month. I had not been to the gym. My apartment was a constant mess because I spent all weekend cleaning up after those kids and had no energy left to actually organize my own space. My stress levels were through the roof. I was snapping at coworkers sleeping poorly, dreading every weekend. That Friday night, I sat Jessica down and told her we needed to talk seriously. I explained that I could not keep doing this every weekend, that it was not fair to expect me to give up my only free time to babysit her niece and nephews while she went out partying. She listened with her arms crossed, her face getting tighter with every word. When I finished, she let out a bitter laugh. "So, this is who you really are. I thought you were different. I thought you actually cared about me and my family." I tried to explain that caring about her did not mean sacrificing every weekend, that boundaries were healthy, that her sister was taking advantage of both of us. She cut me off. "My sister is struggling. She is a single mom. She needs support. I need support. And you are sitting here whining about giving up a few hours a week." "It is not a few hours," I said. "It is entire days, every single weekend, and you are not even staying to help. You are leaving me alone with kids who do not listen to me, who destroy my apartment while you go clubbing." Her eyes flashed. "I deserve to have a life too, Tyler. I am cooped up all week at work. The weekends are my time to relax and have fun. You watching the kids gives me that freedom." I stared at her. "So I am watching them so you can party." "I am decompressing," she snapped. "It is called self-care." I took a deep breath. "Jessica, I am saying no. I will not babysit tomorrow. I need a break." She stood up, her face cold. "Fine. Then maybe you should figure out if you are ready for a serious relationship. Because serious partners show up for each other. If you cannot do this one thing for me, then maybe we are not right for each other." I felt anger surge through me. "Are you seriously giving me an ultimatum right now?" "I am telling you the truth," she said. Step up or get out. Those are your options. I looked at her for a long moment. The woman I thought I knew would never say something like that. But maybe this was who she had been all along, and I had just been too blinded by infatuation to see it. I stood up, grabbed my car keys, and said, "Then I am out." She looked shocked, like she genuinely did not expect me to call her bluff. "Tyler, wait, you are not serious." "I am completely serious," I said. "I have given up 4 weekends in a row. I have cleaned up after kids who are not mine while being disrespected and unappreciated. I have watched you go out and party while I stay home doing your sister's job, and now you are telling me to accept it or leave. So I am choosing to leave." I grabbed a bag and started packing some essentials. She followed me around the apartment, her tone shifting from anger to panic. "You are overreacting." "I did not mean it like that. Can we just talk about this?" "There is nothing to talk about," I said. "You made your priorities clear. I am making mine clear too." I stayed at a hotel that night. My phone blew up with texts from Jessica. Angry ones, sad ones, manipulative ones saying I was abandoning her when she needed me most. I did not respond. I needed space to think clearly. The next morning, Saturday, I woke up in that hotel room and felt something I had not felt in months. Peace. Quiet. No screaming kids. No messes to clean. No girlfriend guilt tripping me. I went to the gym for the first time in weeks. I got breakfast at a diner and sat there reading a book without interruption. I met up with my friend Carlos, who I had been canceling on for a month. He took one look at me and said, "What happened to you, man? You look exhausted." I told him everything. He listened without interrupting, then leaned back and said, "Dude, you should have left after the second weekend. That is insane. She was using you." Hearing someone else validate my feelings made me realize how much I had been gaslighting myself. I was not being unreasonable. I was not being selfish. I was setting a basic boundary, and Jessica had responded by trying to manipulate me into compliance. Over the next week, Jessica kept texting and calling. She alternated between begging me to come back and insulting me for being immature. Her messages got more desperate. "Amanda is furious with me because I cannot watch the kids now. You are ruining everything." I did not respond. I stayed at the hotel for 3 days, then found a short-term rental to give myself space to figure things out. 2 weeks later, I got a long email from Jessica. She apologized for the ultimatum. She said she realized she had been taking advantage of me. She promised things would change. She said Amanda had agreed to hire an actual babysitter. She begged me to give her another chance. I thought about it for a day. Part of me missed her. Missed the good times we had before all this started. But then I remembered how quickly she threw me away when I set a boundary. How she prioritized partying over my well-being. How she let her sister's kids destroy my home without consequences. I realized that if I went back, we would just end up in the same pattern eventually. I sent a short reply. "I appreciate the apology, but I think we want different things. I need a partner who respects my boundaries without me having to fight for them. I wish you the best." She did not take it well. She sent me a series of nasty messages calling me selfish, immature, unable to handle real relationship challenges. I blocked her number after that. 3 months went by. I focused on myself. I started going to therapy to understand why I had let things get so bad before standing up for myself. My therapist helped me see patterns I had missed, how I tended to prioritize other people's needs over my own, how I equated self-sacrifice with love, how I needed to learn that healthy relationships do not require you to destroy yourself to make the other person happy. Then one day, I ran into Amanda at a grocery store. She saw me and immediately looked uncomfortable. I nodded politely and started to walk past. She stopped me. "Tyler, wait. Can I talk to you for a second?" I hesitated, then agreed. We stepped outside. She took a deep breath and said, "I owe you an apology. I took advantage of you. Jessica and I both did. After you left, I realized how much I had been dumping on you two. Jessica was coming to me constantly stressed and exhausted because of my kids. When you refused to keep doing it, she fell apart. She could not handle them on her own. I had been relying on both of you way too much." I appreciated the honesty. "What changed?" I asked. "I had to hire help," she said, "an actual babysitter. And I had to start actually parenting my own kids instead of passing them off every weekend. It has been hard. But it is my responsibility, not yours, not Jessica's. I am sorry I made it yours." I thanked her for the apology. It felt good to hear someone acknowledge what had happened. As I was leaving, she said, "For what it is worth, Jessica really misses you. She talks about you all the time. She knows she messed up." "That is between her and her conscience," I said. "I have moved on." And I had. A month after that conversation, I met someone new. Her name was Lauren. She was a teacher grounded drama-free. On our third date, she mentioned her brother had kids and sometimes asked her to babysit. I usually say yes if I am free, but I always make sure I actually want to do it. Life is too short to spend your weekends doing things out of obligation. I knew right then she was different. We have been together for 6 months now, and it is nothing like what I had with Jessica. There is mutual respect, clear communication, no guilt trips, no ultimatums, just two people who genuinely enjoy each other's company and respect each other's boundaries. I heard through mutual friends that Jessica is dating someone new. Apparently, he watches Amanda's kids every weekend. I feel sorry for him. I hope he figures out what I did before too much time is wasted. Looking back now, that ultimatum was the best thing Jessica ever did for me. It forced me to choose myself when I had been neglecting my own needs for months. It taught me that love should not feel like a hostage situation. That partnership means supporting each other, not exploiting each other. That saying no does not make you selfish. It makes you self-aware. I learned that when someone tries to make you choose between your boundaries and the relationship they are telling you, they do not respect you enough to deserve you. I learned that family helping family should never mean one person sacrificing everything while others benefit. I learned that the right person will never punish you for having limits. The empire I built was not about business or money this time. It was about reclaiming my own life, my own time, my own peace, and that feels like the biggest success of all. So here's my question for you. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt more like a servant than a partner? Have you ever had to choose between keeping someone happy and keeping yourself sane? Drop your story in the comments. I want to hear it. If this resonated with you, hit that like button right now. Subscribe so you never miss stories about standing up for yourself and recognizing your worth. Share this with someone who needs to hear that boundaries are not selfish, they are necessary. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it reminds you that you deserve relationships built on respect, not guilt. Keep choosing yourself. You are worth it.